What's happening, guys and gals? Dallas here. I wanted to do a quick review, a little different idea today, but we're going to do a quick review. I think I just kind of want to say this out loud and get it off my chest, is the reason why, because it's been weighing on me, all joking aside. It's actually kind of, even though it's a music documentary, or it's not a documentary, but it's a like a biopic, or however you would describe it. But I watched the movie Lords of Chaos, which is about the band Mayhem, which is a black metal band from Norway, and they were from the '80s during the whole black metal movement. That came out of the Norwegian black metal scene at the time. For those of you that don't know about that scene, or about that band Mayhem in particular, they were very disturbing. And I've since I watched the movie, I've watched some other reviews, and they all, it's mostly guys who are really into the black metal scene, or into metal, or into punk, and that whole side of music. And they all crap on it because they say that there's all these things they got wrong. And I think what they're more referring to is maybe some of the artistic, the liberal artistic, direction that was taken. I think maybe with just some of the characters, because I did some research and everything in it kind of seems to match up with what actually happened. I think maybe some of those diehards are talking about like more like their personalities, and like some different things that for me don't really affect the how this film comes across. Like, to me, like, I get it if you're way into metal, because maybe it's like, oh, you made these guys look soft, or maybe you made it look edgy when they weren't trying to be edgy in real life. Or I'm not saying I even understand that dynamic, because I don't live in that world where what I'm getting at is, I found that the movie itself, it seemed to me to be pretty spot on with a series of events, like the way things went down. And if you haven't seen the movie, I've kind of yapped on here a little bit about unrelated stuff. Let's just get kind of right into spoiler alert. If you haven't seen it, you might want to skip this part of it. I'm going to talk about some things that happened in the movie. And just by the way, to start, just before I get into it, the whole reason I'm doing a video on this, because it's so outside of my genre, is because I'm so disturbed by this movie. And it did have to do with music and a band and everything, so I just, I'm talking about it anyway. In this movie, they're, I don't want to say teenage, teenage, young 20s young guys, right? They're in the black metal scene, and I'm going to just jump cut. They live in this house together, making music, I think, for a few years. And I'm just going to jump to like the first like crazy stuff that happens. And the lead singer commits suicide. Super dark guy who would like bury his clothes before performing so that they smelled like death. And then he would carry around the carcass of animals in a bag and smell it. I mean, he was like a really dark dude. He tortured cats, like, just dark guy, right? He commits suicide. Crazy, like, way of doing it too. He, like, slits his wrists first, and then slits his throat, and then shoots himself in the mouth with a shotgun. And the research I did, that was factual, seemed to be the way he actually did it. The guitar player then finds him, takes pictures, and they use that for the next album cover. Super dark stuff, right? Fast forward, the bass player quits. The guitar, I'm going to be skipping a lot of things too, but just kind of getting right to some heavy bullet points. I mean, there's tons of other stuff here, but later on in the movie, the replacement bass player ends up then going to the guitar player who took the pictures, and he gets murdered, gets stabbed, I believe it's 17 times, which they actually depict in the film, I think, like, exact to how many times he got stabbed. And that's what I mean, is like they seem to get a lot of the facts of it right. So As far as some of those complaints, you know, like I said, I'm not as into that scene, so I don't know those nuances. But just to kind of recap, and I don't know, a lot of you, if you've gotten this far, I'm assuming you've seen it or you know about the band Mayhem. Um, you know, I'm just gonna kind of jump right to the end. At the end, that the guitar player dies, the bass player goes to jail. Anyway, they're still out. Like a couple of guys who had ties to the band call themselves Mayhem these days, and I mean they're still out making music. There's still a whole black metal scene. The bass player who did the stabbing, that guy is out there doing his own thing musically these days. He's out of jail. So I mean, just wild stuff. And I'm just gonna get to giving my how my review of it, so to say, how it left me feeling. And to me, I couldn't wrap my head around like this happening within like a band context, within a musical context, within, I mean, really any artistic context. But I mean, if any, you know who Maria Abramovich is, I mean, we all know there's some super dark art out there, but like, I don't know, man. I just, this film and this story about this band to me is just absolutely the darkest like musical story. I mean, you have Phil Spector and I mean, there's other dark stories. I mean, tons of them. Jerry Lee Lewis, right? Oh God. There's tons of darkness and in the music industry. Then if you want to get into like the social engineering aspect and into the occultic aspect, I mean, there's so many rabbit holes when it comes to music and how dark it can. We'll say it's been co-opted by the darkness in a lot of ways, right? I think it's becoming now in 2024 more obvious to all of us, which I think is kind of a beautiful thing. I feel like the last 10, 20 years has really helped bring a lot of things to light. Advent of the internet and all that. But I digress. Back to this film. It left me with that. You ever watch a movie where you're like so moved, maybe in a good way, or maybe in this way where you're so moved in a bad way, where it just sticks with you, right? Like it's just sticking with me for some reason. Like I can't shake this film. I've been in so many bands and I've been in that setting, and like, I mean, these are your friends, your brothers and sisters, your peers, your coworkers. To me, it's all about like being a professional and like, I mean, it's just like a whole nother, it's like a whole nother world, So, I mean, I found it both fascinating and disturbing all at the same time. I recommend watching it. I mean, if you're a musician, I recommend watching this just to see, one side of how dark it gets. I mean, as we talked about, there's other aspects of darkness in music. I mean, should we talk about that too, but should we talk about the prison industrial complex co-opting hip-hop music? I mean, we can go there, right? But man, this isn't like any kind of like larger, grander theory. This is just, I think, like it gives you a really visceral feeling, because it's like just these dudes who just committed they were burning churches too. I mean, it's wild. If you haven't seen it, watch it. If you have seen it, you know everything I'm talking about here, and you understand why I'm not only so moved in this way to make a video about it, but why I'm kind of at a loss for words. Usually in my talking videos with you guys, I don't stumble like this, but this movie really affected me in a not good way. I'm able to laugh about it now because it is what it is, right? I mean, it's it's not the end of the world. I'll get by. I'm about to make some videos and go watch football. Life's good, but man, this is a crazy, crazy story. So if you're not familiar with Mayhem, Lords of Chaos is the name of the movie. Macaulay Culkin's little brother's in it he's the guitarist who gets stabbed. The guy who stabs him, the bassist, that actor, he's been in some Netflix stuff, so I recognized him too. Good, decent film, well done, high production value. Like to the artistic integrity as far as like how accurate like the depiction of these characters were. Can't tell you that. I can tell you that the series of events seems to match up from my research, but if you found out anything different, comment below. Let me know. Let me know if you've seen it, your opinions. If you haven't seen it, watch it and come back and give me your opinion. I'm dying to know what you would think of that movie. Anyway, I don't mean to be laughing so much at the end of this video. I mean, it's a super dark one, right? I guess, but hey, you guys know me. It's all about picking and love, and you know, I love y'all, and keep on playing your guitars, guys. Just wanted to talk about a movie real quick. We'll do some more actual lesson videos today, and those will be much more fun. But hope you got something out of it, or at least maybe you'll be running off to go watch a movie about a super dark band. All right, guys, much love. Keep on picking. Like, subscribe, and share if you'd be so kind. I love y'all. I'll see you on the flip. Later.